Kirsten Gillibrand should be so ashamed of herself. So instead of coming out to endorse Zohran Mamdani, she basically went on some weird tangent when she was on Brian LaRue? No, LaRue? I don't know how you say it. Lehrer? Maybe it's Lehrer. Anyway, his radio show.
He was never out there saying globalize the Intifada. He was asked about other people who used it. So just to be precise about what happened there, yes?
Well, as a leader of a city as diverse as New York City, with 8 million people, as the largest Jewish population in the country, he should denounce it. And that's it. Period. And you can't celebrate it, you can't value it, you can't lift it up. And that is the challenge that Jewish New Yorkers have had, certainly since October 6th. October 7th. It is exactly what they have felt. It is why Jewish students in our universities have felt unsafe.
Globalize the Intifada. Intifada. Oh my God. I have dyslexia, so I have dyslexia. So I mix up letters and words in my head a lot. So, and that has like a broad meaning. It's not just, it encompasses, peaceful protest, peaceful resistance, like Martin Luther King did, and like Gandhi and other, prominent figures. And they may have not called it Intifada. I want to say it Intifada. They may not have called it that, but that's exactly what it was. It doesn't mean violent. And Gillibrand really made it sound like it just means kill all the Jews. It doesn't mean that at all. In fact, it wasn't even something he said. And I take issue with that. I take issue with the whole denounce full stop about things. Because then you're taking away people's agency and their ability to think for themselves. I'm 100% sure that not all Jewish people believe it means kill them. Because that's ridiculous. And the fact that Mamdani got a lot of Jewish votes. He had to. There's 1 million Jewish people in New York City. And so outside Israel, that's the largest population in one area. And it's just completely and utterly ridiculous. Gillibrand is a corporate Democrat. She just got into the Senate or whatever. So she's not up. Her term isn't going to be up for 4 more years. But you know what? In 2028, I hope someone primaries her. Primary her out of that office. Because she's a little disgusting. Jacobin came out with a article yesterday, I think it was, talking about how she pretty much doesn't care about anyone in Gaza. She had said one throwaway line at one point, but she didn't care about the Palestinians. She doesn't care about how they've been systematically slaughtered. She doesn't care about how their homes are being demolished. Right now, the IDF is going in and demolishing any homes that weren't bombed and just getting rid of everything. So even if their homes weren't destroyed, they're going to be. And these contractors are making $1,500 per demolition. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation. And she's only, and yeah, I feel for the people that were taken on October 7th. I feel for them. That can't be easy for their family. That can't be easy for them. Of course. Especially since Israel, the IDF, the government of Israel, is starving people in Gaza. That means they're also starving the hostages, which is really gross. And it's amazing that she can't seem to I think she understands. She she's making a choice. She's making a choice to go hard and to support Israel and basically dehumanize the Palestinians, who are human. They're like me, like you. And we need to look at people as human first. I do not look at my neighbor as, trucker or Republican or guy or whatever. I'm looking at my neighbor as human first. This is another human that, I need to respect on a human level. You know what I mean? Look, we're all humans, and we all deserve a basic security of being. And the Palestinians haven't had that for close to 80 years. They have lived in this precarious state. And Gillibrand could use her voice, could use her white privilege, because yes, we have white privilege. She has a very privileged position. She's in the Senate. She has power. She has platform. And she's not using that for the people of Gaza, for, the Palestinians, which she should. I mean, she's going to vie support for the Israeli hostages. I'm okay with that. Also support the Palestinians that are being murdered systematically. So, that the DNC is going to pull out all the stops. I'm not really as worried about the Republicans. I'm really much worried about the Democratic Party, about the corrupt politicians that are in both sides of the aisle, have a bunch of corrupt politicians. But the Democrats, they love to undermine any progressive. They are the enemy of progression in this country. They don't want us to have a social safety net. They don't want us to feel good. They want us to be divided because Gillibrand and everyone up there is part of the powerful, part of the oligarchy. She doesn't have to be billionaire to be part of that system, because she's upholding it, because they fund her. And when you uphold a system like that, you are also responsible for the oppression of the people. And they're trying to divide us. But really, when this comes down to it, this is a class struggle we're in. This is a class war we are in. Us, normal folk that aren't rich, versus the millionaires and billionaires, the oligarchy. Those are the people that are in charge, that buy our politicians, and basically think they own the world. They overwork their employees, and they really hate when people are like, oh, but they employ people like Amazon. Yeah, Amazon does employ people, but they don't pay fairly, or they still don't pay fairly. They have AI tracking people now in the warehouse, the drivers. Even though the drivers are independent contractors or third party, they're still governed by Amazon. Amazon's still giving the marching orders. So don't get that confused. Because ultimately, they're doing a service for Amazon. And while we could try to boycott Amazon as much as we can, there's a lot of people that do rely on Amazon and need to use Amazon because they're disabled or whatnot, and I don't begrudge them. What we really need are better laws. What we really need are things on the books to make people like Amazon pay their fucking fair share. Jeff Bezos has an effective tax rate of 1%. Me and my husband, who make about $100,000 a year, live in a modest home, which is fine, and we end up having to pay an effective tax rate of 10%. So I pay a percentage more than he does. Yes, I know in dollars he pays more. But he's so fucking rich. And he doesn't pay his fair share. There's a lot of fucking rich people. In fact, I live in Washington State where there's a lot of fucking rich people here. And yeah, we have sales tax, which is a regressive tax. It's a tax on the middle class and the poor, basically, because you have to pay sales tax on everything except for food. Food is not subject to that, although deli food is, pre-prepared food is, but not like fresh fruits and vegetables or regular groceries, you know, like cereal or whatnot. Meat, I mean, none of that is taxed. So, I mean, that's good because we shouldn't have to pay tax on our food. Our food is already very expensive. Like, yeah. Look up the prices in Washington State. Now, I know they're not more expensive than Hawaii or Alaska, but those places are in remote locations from America, especially Hawaii. So, but yeah, look up our grocery store prices, and it's pretty out there. I know they tout like New York is like the most expensive city. I'd say that Seattle is probably, you know, a competitor in that. Everett, not that far away from Seattle, honestly. But, and that's where I live, is Everett. But it's time for a change. And we really need to, all of us, collectively, as many as possible. I don't care if you have no subscribers, and get on a platform, any platform you choose, and talk out about this. Talk about how this is disgusting. We need, if we have more voices are out there in the public sphere saying, no, this is not okay, that the Kirsten Gillibrands of the world are not okay, that we need to rebuke them. We need to primary them with progressive challengers. And then when there is a progressive challenger, we need to rally around them. Hopefully they're charismatic. Hopefully they have good policies. Now, I don't blindly follow anybody. I will always look at the policies. Are your policies good? Just because you call yourself a progressive doesn't mean you have good policies. Because there are progressives that don't have good policies. And I see that. I know that. Just like that's true about any group, right? So I don't blindly follow allegiance to anything. I consider myself independent. And recently, thank you for two people that left a comment about this. I can't say her name right, I don't think. Sharma? No. Now I gotta look her back up. She's running against Adam Smith, which is one of our people in the House. He is a big supporter of Israel, which is disgusting. Okay, yeah. Now, when people say her name, they don't pronounce the K. Like, it's like silent K, like knife. But when I looked at Wikipedia, it did pronounce the K, so I don't know which way to say this right. So, Kshama. So, Kshama is how Wiki says we say it, but like news anchors and stuff call it Shama. Sawant. So, Shama Sawant is a progressive, but she's running as an independent. And she's part of the socialist... Oh, what is it called? It's SA, like socialist... What is it? Oh, well, I can just look back on her wiki. Okay, socialist alternative. So she is part of that. Ooh, now I can't see anything because it's too bright out here. And so she was in the city council of Seattle. So she is going to be running against Adam Smith, but it's not this year. That's going to be in 2026 because that's when his term is up. And well, his term is up is in January of 2027. So the primary for her will be not this August, but next August. So I'm going to take some time and read up about her and get to know her as much as I possibly can from reading about her. And see, so far what I've seen of her is pretty good. So I'm kind of excited about that. So we can rally around her and make sure she gets into the House, because it'd be nice to have more people in the House and in the Senate that supports humanization of Palestinians, that is against war, that wants people to have their basic needs met. We need that from every leader. Every leader that gets elected from now on needs to be looking out for the people. And if they're taking big PAC money, you know they won't be. That needs to be called out. And I know a lot of times we don't have a good challenger. So if you're progressive, I urge you to get out there. I urge you to run for office, especially if you're younger, like Zohran Mamdani. If you're, in your 30s, late 20s, early 40s, get out there and run for office, because we need you. We all need you. And with that, have a great day. Thanks for watching.